secret goes back to when I was 13. I was a virgin, barely into puberty, covered with acne, and Aunt Valerie, my father's youngest sister, she was late 20s or early 30s. She used to stay with us from time to time. She was between jobs a lot. We got along great, played around a lot when my folks were out, wrestling, tickling, card games. Then one time when I cheated at strip poker and got her naked, things got real sexual. No longer tickling, but some serious filling up. I was inexperienced and hormone high. I didn't know exactly what was going on. But when she said to me, "Stick it in," I said, "Yes, ma'am," and followed instructions. After that, we did it anytime we could until a couple of months later when my folks came home early and caught us red-handed, flat out in the act. What's that called? Flagrant something?
Flagrant delicto.
Wow, fast. I forgot we have two professors here. Well, anyway, the whole thing kind of messed up the family. My dad didn't get too hot under the collar about it, but my mother was livid, and Aunt Val didn't stay with us anymore. And my mother was furious with Dad for continuing to be friendly to her. But I can understand why my mother was upset. But still, it was as much my fault as Aunt Val's.
I've got a response, Gil. Maybe not what you're expecting, but something I've been holding back. Something I want to say to you even before I left my trip. I don't know how to put it tactfully, Gil, so I'm just gonna cut loose. Bottom line is that your story doesn't move me one bit, and in most ways, you just don't move me. Even though you say you're revealing yourself like Rebecca and Stuart did, I don't experience you as being personal. I know that you're committed to the group. You seem to work hard. You take a lot of responsibility for taking care of others, and if someone runs out, it's usually you that runs to get them back. You seem to reveal yourself, but you don't. It's an illusion. You stay hidden. Yes, that's what you are. Hidden, hidden, hidden. Your story about your aunt is so typical of what I mean. It seems personal, but it's not. It's a trick because it's not your story, it's your Aunt Val's story. And of course, everyone's going to jump in and say, but you were just a child. You were just 13. You were the victim. What else could they say? And your stories about your marriage have always been about Rose, never about you. And they always get exactly the same response from us. Why do you put up with that crap? When I was meditating in India, bored out of my guard, I thought a lot about this group. You can't believe how much. And I thought about each person except for you, Kim. I hate to say this, but I just didn't think about you. When you talk, I never know who you're talking to, maybe the walls or the floor, but I never experienced you speaking personally to me. Okay, at this point, Julius and Gil begins to interact. What are you feeling, Gil?
Oh, just my typical feeling when I get a drop kick to my belly, spitting out a few pieces of pancreas. Is that personal enough, Pam? Wait. Sorry, don't answer. I didn't mean that. I know you're giving me good, straight stuff, and deep down, I know you're right. You're right. I could reveal more. I know that. I have things I could say to people here. Tell you what, let me go around the rest of the group and talk about my feelings. For you, Stuart, I've got nothing but admiration. If I had kids, I'd feel lucky to have you as their doctor. And what you described last week doesn't change any of my feelings. And you, Rebecca, to tell you the truth, you intimidate me. You seem too perfect, too pretty, too clean. What you told us about the incident in Las Vegas doesn't change that. To me, you're still pristine and spotless with tons of confidence. Maybe it's because I'm flustered now, but I can't even remember why you're in therapy. Stuart's image of you being a porcelain doll, that rings true. Maybe you're a little too brittle. Maybe you've got some sharp edges. I don't know. And Pam, you're a straight shooter. Blunt, smartest person I'd ever met until Philip entered. He could give you a run for it. I know I don't want to get on the wrong side of either of you, but Pam, you've got to work some stuff out with men. They give you hard times. But then again, you hate us. All of us. Hard to know what's chicken and what's egg. Philip, you're way up there, like in another whole layer or realm of being. But I wonder about you. I wonder if you've ever had a friend. I can't see you actually hanging out, having a beer, talking about the Giants. I can't see you having a good time or actually ever liking anyone. And I'll tell you the real question for me. Why aren't you lonely? And Tony, you're fascinating to me. You work with your hands, you really do things, not push numbers around like me. I wish you weren't so ashamed of your work. And Julius, he's just there for me, for everyone. He's far above us. The way he. Julius, the way you're handling your illness, I mean, it's impressive. I'll never forget.
How was that, Gil? You satisfied?
I broke some new ground. Hope I didn't offend.
Gil, let me ask you to do something. Imagine a continuum of stuff revealing. At one pole, which we call 1, is the safest revealing, cocktail party stuff. And at the other pole, call it 10, will be the deepest and riskiest revealing you could possibly imagine. Got that? Now look back on your go around just now. Tell me, Gil, what kind of score would you give yourself?
I'd give myself a 4, maybe a 5.
And now tell me, Gil, what would happen if you were to ratchet it up a notch or 2?
If I were to ratchet up a notch or 2, I'd tell the group I was an alcoholic and that I drink myself to unconsciousness every night.
And scene.